All right, well, we'll get started. Can everyone see the shared screen that's up right now? All right, wonderful. Good morning and welcome everyone to our third MnACC Mondays College Admission Q&A panel. As you can see here today, we have a panel of college admissions experts from a variety of institutions from the Midwest. Speakers here today represent public, private, 2-year, 4-year, in-state, and reciprocity colleges and universities. MnACC, established in 1991, is a non-competitive post-secondary collaborative dedicated to improving access to higher education for Minnesota's students of color. The Minnesota Association of Counselors of Color work to provide college access opportunities throughout the year, including hosting college fairs, professional development, and scholarships for first-year students. Due to the impact of COVID-19 on the school year last year and coming up this year, it was important for us to find new and creative ways to provide high school students with college search and access opportunities. Therefore, we are excited to bring you this presentation virtually. My name's Rachel. I serve currently as the president of MnACC, and I will be taking care of moderating this panel today. So we will get started with introductions, and I will ask each of our panelists to introduce themselves and the institutions they represent. After introductions, we will jump into questions. As participants, we welcome you to chat questions you have into the Q&A box, and we will ask those questions as they come along. At the end, we will provide contact information for those who presented today for any future follow-up. All right, so first up, all right, can everyone see this all right? Awesome, thank you. Go ahead, Angie.
Okay, so my name is Angie Pedersen, and I work in the admissions office at Alexandria Technical and Community College. We're located in Alexandria in West Central Minnesota, and we provide over 44 different programs in technical and our community college. We also have 19 online programs, including some new programming this year with cybersecurity. We are also excited to introduce some athletics, which we haven't had in the past. So trap shooting, esports, and a golf league, as well as providing students with secured parking spaces for their recreational equipment. So if you have a boat or a fish house that you want to bring on campus with you this fall, we have secured parking going to be available. Alexandria really prides themselves in their job placement, and overall we have over 98% job placement, and most students are able to secure a job before they graduate. So thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to answering any questions you have about Alexandria Technical and Community College and our programs.
Hi there, I'm Tyler Holland. I'm with Northern State University. We have about 3,600 students on campus, so it's a little bit smaller university, about 20-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Different majors and stuff across the arts and sciences, fine arts, education, business. We have a bunch of different clubs for students and everything, and we just opened up some new residence halls. So yeah, excited to answer you guys' questions.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew Sletton. I'm here with the University of Minnesota Morris. Really awesome to connect with you virtually. We really miss all of you, so this is a really great way to connect with you and answer questions you might have and get some face-to-face communication, because I think most admissions counselors are extroverts, so we're kind of not having as much fun with this. So, University of Minnesota Morris, we're Minnesota's public liberal arts college. We're about 1,500 students, so on the small side. I should say we're on Minnesota's only public liberal arts college. Public meaning U of M campus, liberal arts meaning you study across the majors in really small, deliberate, discussion-based classrooms. We're in a town of about 5,000. So we're in Alexandria's neck of the woods, West Central Minnesota, about 45 minutes from South Dakota. So a little bit further than some of the schools you're probably considering, but nice place to be. Awesome recreational opportunities like Alexandria was talking about, but also just a small, awesome kind of deliberate community. We have 36 majors and minors, 9 pre-professional programs all across the board. We're liberal arts, so you end up studying a little bit of everything. We have a really awesome student life being a smaller campus in a smaller town. We have over 120 student clubs and organizations, so a lot going on. We're a D3 school for athletics, a lot going on there. And then what I really want to highlight, 13-to-1 is our student-professor ratio. So a ton of interaction with your professors, and that connection is really where so much of our benefits come from in terms of research, study abroad, job placement. All those pieces come from that professor relationship. So really excited to be here, really excited to answer any questions that you might have. Please send them through the Q&A.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Susan. I am the multicultural admissions counselor here at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire. I always like telling everyone too, fun fact about me is that this is actually my alma mater as well. Graduated here recently, spring 2019. So still new to the whole student perspective, still life, still have that in me. But we are a mid-sized university, about 10,000 undergraduate students on our campus. We're about an hour and a half away from the Minnesota Twin Cities. We offer about 80 plus different types of majors and minors. Most popular is going to be our nursing, business, education, biology, music programs here on our campus. We also have over 200 plus student organizations, which encompasses our cultural organizations and also our academic organizations. And then lastly, we offer a multitude of research, internship, study abroad, and service learning opportunities for students on our campus. I always emphasize our studying abroad on our campus, just that many of our students have the opportunity to, whether they want to go study abroad for a whole year, half a school year, or even just going during winter break. There's endless possibilities for traveling. And I just think our study abroad program does a great job at helping students financially, if that is something you want to do as well. But that's just a few things about UW-Eau Claire, and I hope to be able to answer more questions as they come through today with you all.
Good morning. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ann Moe. I'm an admission counselor at St. Catherine University, also known as St. Kate's. St. Kate's is the nation's largest private women's college, which makes us pretty unique right off the bat. We're located in the Highland Park neighborhood of St. Paul. It's a very walkable neighborhood and in a very close-knit neighborhood. So you have this really great community within the greater metro area. While we're the nation's largest private women's college, we are still a pretty small school. We have about 1,800 students, and our average class size is 17. All of our classes are taught by professors. None of them are taught by teaching assistants. So you have great opportunities to get to know your classmates and professors extremely well. Like the name implies, we are a Catholic university. We were founded by a really incredible group of women who have been open to women of all faiths from the beginning. So regardless of your faith tradition, you are welcome at St. Kate's. We have more than 60 majors, 29 minors, and 10 pre-professional programs. So lots of opportunities in deciding what you want to study. And the ways that you can get involved outside of the classroom are great too. So we have more than 70 student clubs and organizations, varsity and intramural athletics, and a couple of student publications as well. As a private college, sticker price can be a really scary thing. So I think it's important to note that St. Kate's also has guaranteed scholarships for all of our incoming first-year students.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Villarreal. My pronouns are she, hers, and hers. And I am the admissions counselor with the University of Northern Iowa. We're about 3.5 hours away from the Twin Cities. And I am the counselor that works with students from that area. The university is mid-sized, so we're sitting at about 10,500 students. So we are a little bit on the larger scale compared to like community colleges or smaller institutions. But you still get that large campus feel, but you still get that individualization on campus and in the classroom. We do have over 160 different programs, so different majors, minors, areas of emphasis, or pre-professional programs. Something unique that the institution does offer is core classes and hands-on experiences right off the bat. So when you do become an incoming student, whether that's like a transfer student or straight out of high school, we want to provide you core classes right away so you can decide if the major that you're interested in or that area of study is the right fit for you. We also do have automatic scholarships as listed. It is an automatic $5,000 scholarship for our out-of-state students, and this is upon admission, no extra essays or anything required. You just have to meet that out-of-state requirement. It is a total of $20,000, so you do get the $5,000 every single year that you're with us after you start. And then we also do have additional scholarships that are automatic based off your GPA or ACT score. We do see 95% of our UNI grads find success within 6 months of graduation based off of their involvement in what they're doing on campus. And we do provide a wide variety of different resources and services for our students free of charge, as well as events. And we can go into detail about that later when questions are asked. But yeah.
Thank you, panelists. All right, at this time, we will get started with questions. Again, if you have any questions that you want to submit, feel free to do so in the chat. My first question for panelists, some of you have already answered this in your introductions, but what programs is your school well known for?
Okay, I'm going to start. Big one on a national scale is environmental sciences. We're an extremely green campus, a lot of sustainable energy initiatives and technology on our campus. Biggest majors are biology, psychology, English, economics, and management, but environmental science definitely the one that we are most well known for in the national landscape. Very green campus model for green technology on a college campus.
So Northern State University is well known for their education program. We have a ton of elementary schools in the area, high schools in the area, where you can do your student teaching. You get a free iPad when you join the program, which is kind of cool. So, but yeah, a lot of opportunities to get out there and practice. You'll be in the school all 4 years, which is really nice. On top of that, so we have, biology is very popular. We just opened up a state-of-the-art science center on campus that students are really excited about. And we have a really good band. If you're looking to do band, check us out. So
I'll go ahead. So Alexandria Technical and Community College is, I would say, one of our programs that we're known the most for is our law enforcement program. And think of scenario-based training. So as students enter the law enforcement program, they're going to have all of the hands-on training that they need to prepare themselves to work in law enforcement. Maybe you don't see yourself working directly in, as an officer. We do have the opportunity for you to transfer to the 4-year and still have those skills classes. Maybe you want to get into criminal justice or probation or something like that. So it's a good way to get your feet wet and training in law enforcement and then transfer on for those opportunities. We also are very popular with our nursing program. It's the ADN mobility. So you start as an LPN, go through and then on to the RN program. And then being in West Central Minnesota, diesel mechanics is very popular. Usually goes to a wait list, I would say probably by January every year. So if mechanics is in your future, check out Alec Tech for our mechanic programs.
The University of Northern Iowa has a wide variety of programs. However, our College of Education and our College of Business are very well known for our teaching students who are interested in teaching, whether that's early education or higher education. Once again, they get classroom experience as soon as they come on campus. So their first semester, they're getting clinical experience. And then with our business program, we do have a professional readiness program that basically puts students in real life situations, working with real life organizations and businesses, so they are aware of how the world will be after graduation.
So at St. Kate's, the majors that are the most popular are often things that focus on taking care of people and justice in the world. So things that are really big include nursing, that's our biggest major. Social work is also very popular. So is public health. When it comes to unique things, St. Kate's has the only American Sign Language interpreting program in Minnesota that's accredited. So that's a very unique thing that we have that's pretty big. And then we also have some other unique things like apparel design and stenography as a 4-year program.
Yeah, and that kind of touched upon the popular programs at UW Eau Claire, but just some unique ones that many of our students end up going into is also criminal justice, neuroscience, biomedical engineering, which is fairly new to our campus. And then critical home studies, American Indian studies are just a few other programs we have available on our campus.
Thank you. So moving on to sort of that academic life, how accessible are your professors? What are some examples of professor-student interactions outside of the classroom?
I'll go ahead and
go ahead.
go first here. Oh, sorry, Tyler. So we do have smaller class sizes also, and our instructors really get to know the students because they're your instructor, they're your advisor. So they see you on a daily basis. They know what your goals are. And just one example, I had an accounting student who was really kind of going back and forth on if that was going to be the right fit. She knew she would get a job as an accountant, but was worried that she might be bored. So the instructor actually talked about his personal interests in art and drawing and pottery, and brought in some of the stuff that he works on as hobbies, and kind of said, you know what, you can do it all. You can be an accountant and you can still have fun. You can still do your art. You can still do your pottery, and really reach out to the students that way to let them know that just it's a well-rounded, you're able to have a job and still enjoy your hobbies. That's just one example that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, so at Northern, our professors, the student-teacher ratio is about 20-1. So your big lecture halls are going to have about 60 students, but your regular classes are going to have about 12 to 18 students, somewhere in there. So it's really nice to have small classes. You get to know your professors really well. They know you really well. You can stay after and ask them questions. They have office hours. You can shoot them. I mean, you literally can contact them kind of anytime you want when you have questions. They're always open to help. So that's I really like that about our campus too.
I would just want to add the same thing. Although we're mid-size and we're a little larger in numbers, you still get that individualization, that one-on-one with your professor. You can, talk to them right after class if you want to, or obviously also office hours. I think most institutions have that, but yeah, it's easy. I think the biggest thing is just students taking that first step and that initiative to reach out through email as well. And then they're more than happy to meet with you.
Yeah, here at UW Eau Claire, average class size is about 37. So definitely there is that personal aspect there with your professor, but all of our professors have required office hours for the classes they teach. So no matter what course you're in, there is going to be already a set aside time that your professor has for your classes. And even outside of classes, our faculty and our professors are very invested in our students, whether we have a lot of faculty who do student faculty-led research on our campus. So I've seen professors take students to Australia, France, or even Thailand for a month using grant proposals to be able to do that with their students.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in. Sorry, Rachel. So we're U of M campus, so tons of research opportunities. Like Mankato was saying, kind of benefit of a public school out of research funding. But just the nature of Morris as a small town and small campus, you run into your professors all the time. That relationship continues outside of the classroom as well, whether it's volunteering with nonprofits or going to community events. It's a really special kind of place because professors are choosing to be here in a really small town where it's guaranteed you're going to see students that you're working with at the grocery store or downtown, town of 5,000. It's a really tight community. So professors who really want to work with students in a small classroom, but then also want to be a part of the community with students. So really cool connections there.
Thank you. All right, moving on to kind of that outside of class environment. What do students do on campus or even off campus when they're not in class?
All right, I'll go ahead and start. So we're really kind of promoting the Alexandria area with the trap shooting club and competitive team. We have a lot of fishing. We're going to have a bass fishing team or league this fall. There's state land, there's snowmobile trails. That's very popular with our power sports mechanics, is to have your bring your snowmobile and your fish house and really take advantage of what Alexandria has to offer. We also have a ski hill that's about 15 miles outside of town. So if you like to ski or snowboard, even tubing, we'll have nights that are set aside for college students and college discounts. And then intramural sports. just to grab your friends and get together. So really taking advantage of that. And then they'll throw in some fun activities like bingo for groceries or a Jenga tournament or some craft nights too, just to kind of round it out so that everyone, we kind of meet everyone's needs.
Yeah, so at Northern, outside of class, it's a, like I said, it's a small campus, so a lot of people would be hanging out in the student center, in the science building. Our CAB, our campus activities board, holds a lot of events on campus, from musicians, comedians, magicians coming through. We have a lot of that stuff. Hunting and fishing is super popular in the area. A lot of good hunting land, good places to fish. And then Aberdeen's about 28,000 people, so there's plenty of stuff to do in town, and we're only about 3 hours from the next couple bigger cities, so easy day trips there too. So.
All right, moving on to let's see, visits on campus. So during the times of COVID-19 and the lasting impacts, how can students engage with the campus in a meaningful way? So as students are beginning to figure out where they want to go for college, how are you working with students who want to visit your campus or know more information?
Yeah, I can go first. So St. Kate's right now is offering one-on-one visits for families. So one family is allowed on campus at a time. When they go on their campus tour, they're the only person on tour, which is a pretty fantastic thing. You get to hear great experiences from our student ambassadors. The expectation when families are on campus is that they're masked at all times and maintaining social distancing. There are also enhanced cleaning procedures throughout campus. And alongside that, students can meet with their admission counselor when they come to campus as well, again, with social distancing in place. So students have not all of the opportunities that they typically do when things are more normal, but they still get the opportunity to see what our campus is like and meet some people and have good, meaningful interaction as well.
Yeah, here at UW-Eau Claire, we are offering on-campus visits for students. The size, again, of the groups are limited down just for the safety measures, just like what Annie was saying for about theirs. But then we also are offering we have virtual presentations online for students to be able to partake in. And starting this fall, I will be hosting student panels as well. So there are different panels that students can sit on side on and just listen to current students kind of talk about their experiences here on our campus.
Yeah, I'll jump in. We're currently closed for on-campus visits. We're working on that, an update coming soon, but currently closed for visits. We have a lot of virtual opportunities, one-on-one admissions counselor meeting, as others noted. Then we also have a really cool virtual tour that's led by a current student. So even though we can't have you on campus, you still get that connection with the student, hear stories, hear about their connection to place, and see a lot of the buildings, at least get a sense for campus. For now, we're going to be open for visits soon, but update coming soon.
I'll go next. The University of Northern Iowa has had online visits and presentations in different summer, but starting August 3rd, we are opening up for on-campus visits. Once again, just like they shared, we are limiting spots for every single day and every single time session. So we have a morning session and an afternoon session. So there is a chance to get in within one day. Something unique that we're offering is every family that is on campus will get an individual tour guide. And it probably will be us, the admissions counselors, which I'm excited about because we'll also offer those tours on golf carts. So we do require masks to be worn at all times, but we understand that it can be pretty hot in the month of August and sometimes September. So to walk around on campus, we are, like I said, we're mid-sized, so it's still kind of a pretty larger campus. So we just want to provide that extra support for our visitors.
Yeah, and we're doing the same thing. We're open to campus visits. We only have a couple time slots a day, so we're trying to minimize, how many families are on campus at one time. And then on top of that, we have a virtual tour on our website, and then virtual visits where you could just have a Zoom with the counselor, which would be me, and yeah, and we can talk with like a professor and financial aid or whoever you want to talk with. So.
And actually, Alexandria does personal visits as part of our admissions process. So when a student applies for a specific program, each of our admissions reps represent those programs. So when we bring a family on campus, it's a one-on-one visit anyway with an instructor and then with admissions. So we've been able to continue those, obviously with masks and using those precautions. But we've been able to continue that one-on-one visit since June 1st. Prior to that, we were able to have the instructors call students directly and do phone visits. So if there's, we're also looking at locations. So if you're not able to make it on campus, we can still offer those personal phone calls from an instructor to get more information about the program that you're looking at. But we're also open for business too.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say we want our students to come visit, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person. It's the best way to get to know a college and if it's the right fit for you. All right, moving on to the application process. Can you give a little bit of details on that application process and then timeline for your institution?
I want to jump in and say something on the last question. Talking about visiting with professors or financial aid, as Tyler was saying, or as Angie was saying, this is an awesome opportunity to talk to basically anybody on a college campus. So whether it's alumni that we can connect you with who have all the time in the world now, whether it's a professor who is used to using Zoom and has a lot more time, whether it's financial aid, whether it's current students, we can connect you a lot more easily with those people. So take advantage of those all across the board. I'm sure that we're offering Zoom meetings for folks. Everybody's nodding yet. So we can connect you with professors, we can connect you with all these people. It's kind of hard to do that on an in-person visit because everybody's really busy when college is normally in session. So this is an awesome opportunity. There's challenges and opportunities and, turning it into an opportunity. So application process, Rachel, can you repeat the question?
Silver lining there for sure that you mentioned. Describe the application process and your timeline.
Okay, so we require an application to be submitted before March 15th. So you have a ton of time for scholarship consideration before December 15th. So basically apply in the fall of your senior year. We require that application to be filled out completely. And then also either transcript sent from your guidance office or a self-reported transcript. We are currently test optional for fall 2021. So juniors going into senior year. This year, we are not requiring an ACT score, not a permanent thing, but just given the limitations of COVID. So basically apply fall of your senior year. We need that transcript or self-reported grades.
Yep, and then ours is essentially the same. We are requiring ACTs for this year and, obviously your high school transcript is what we'll need. Get those sent to us. Turnaround time is I get to it pretty fast. I'm the one that reads your application and gets you accepted. So I try and get it done within a couple days. But then from there, FAFSA, housing, we do all that stuff. So.
At Alexandria, as an open enrollment college, as part of the Minnesota state system, we have a really simple application process. You do an application online and you submit a copy of your high school transcript or college transcripts if you're a transfer student. Then we reach out to you and set up an appointment with you to visit with an instructor, visit with admissions. And typically if a student has everything in, when you come on campus or complete that admissions visit, we can accept you. We do have deadlines of our scholarship is April 1st. And with some of the programs that fill pretty fast, we encourage students to apply right away in September and October.
I'd like to add as well, just like Minnie shared, we have a rolling application, so we don't really have a deadline for when to submit an application. However, we do have a January 15th deadline for scholarships. Our application process still looks pretty much the same. It's an online application where you self-report your GPA, your core classes, and your ACT score if you were able to take it. And if you don't have an ACT score, you can still apply and be admitted to the university. We're not really taking into consideration the ACT. However, if you do take it or plan to take it, you can definitely submit that information for additional scholarships that are offered by other departments. Our admission application for scholarships aren't looking at ACT, so you are promised automatic scholarships based off your GPA only, but we do require the ACT still. It's just not gonna affect your admissions decision.
Like UNI, St. Kate's operates on a rolling admission basis. So theoretically, you could apply, if you're a rising senior right now, you could apply in a year to go to college in the fall. That is not my recommendation. I would say, even if you're looking at schools that accept students on a rolling basis, apply in the fall so it's done and taken care of. St. Kate's requires your official high school transcript, a letter of recommendation from a teacher or counselor, a writing sample, and starting this year and moving forward, we are test optional, and that goes for scholarship consideration as well. So when students apply at St. Kate's, they are considered for scholarship and are granted scholarships when they are admitted. And starting now and moving forward, the ACT, if you choose not to submit it, or if you haven't taken it, that will not be part of scholarship consideration. If you have taken the ACT, you are welcome to submit it, and that will be considered as part of your application.
And then the UW system application opens up August 1st, so that's when students can start applying for fall 2021 here. We work on a rolling admissions basis after that August 1st time there, so as long as you get all your application materials into us, it takes us about 2 to 3 weeks to get a decision out to you. First priority deadline is December 1st, and the second priority deadline is February 1st. I only say those dates because anything sent to us after February 1st is going to be based on a space availability basis. But then those two deadlines are also congruent with our scholarship deadline. So our first scholarship deadline is December 1st. Second deadline is going to be February 1st. So just a little bit of those deadline dates.
It's hard to believe that August 1st is just a few days away. We're rolling up into the 2020 academic year real fast. All right, so some of you alluded to scholarships and deadlines. How do students go about scholarships at your college or university? And as well, how do they go about financial aid?
I can start.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
So we have 2 automatic scholarships students can have, which is going to be our out-of-state students. Unfortunately, that doesn't include our Minnesota students, as Minnesota students will have reciprocity here at UW Eau Claire, meaning you're paying almost the same as our Wisconsin students already. The second automatic scholarship will be for our honors students, and that's going to be based on your high school class rank to get into the honors program for that automatic scholarship. However, we do have other scholarships available for students, and all they need to do is fill out an application on our scholarship page to have their application reviewed for that scholarship. And it's just one scholarship application to be reviewed for all scholarship applications you may qualify for.
Yeah, so at Northern, basically, as soon as you apply, you're in for the Wolfpack scholarship. As long as you have a 20 on your ACT and a 3.25 GPA, you'd qualify for that. It's the largest guaranteed scholarship in South Dakota, so we're pretty excited about that. And then on top of that, we just have a bunch of other scholarships on the page or on our website that you can check out. We have the admissions office can give out a bunch of different scholarships as well. So yeah.
So unique, similar to Eau Claire, we have one application on our scholarship webpage that meets your criteria. You fill out an application and it matches you with the scholarships you're eligible for. And then unique to the technical side is the state of Minnesota the last 2 years, and as far as I know going forward, offer some really significant scholarships, upwards of $2,500 in specific programs. So the state has identified high demand, low shortage job opportunities. So in manufacturing, healthcare, and those areas. So there's additional scholarships that students can apply for. And then as admission reps, if we hear of scholarships through different individual industries, we actually look at our list of students coming into those programs, and we'll mail you or email you the application process for specific scholarships.
Like I mentioned at St. Kate's, when you apply, you're considered for scholarships. And that's all of our scholarships, including, we have one full tuition and fees scholarship. And that's kind of the really only hard and fast deadline. That's November 15th. And after that, students are no longer considered if they apply after that point. So right away when you're accepted at St. Kate's, you know what your scholarships will look like. And the other piece of the financial aid puzzle is completing the FAFSA, which opens on October 1st. St. Kate's typically sends out our first financial aid letters the end of December. Most of them come out during January and February. And those go into very explicit detail about what costs will look like for you if you qualify for grants, loans, that sort of thing. I would say in the whole college search process, the financial aid piece is obviously a huge deciding factor. And when you look at any college, but especially a private college, that sticker price is startling. And don't discount a school until you see that full financial aid award.
I mentioned earlier that the University of Northern Iowa does have an automatic $5,000 scholarship for being an out-of-state student. So there's no extra requirements that you need to meet, just being that out-of-state student. And that's for the 4 years that you start with us. We do have additional scholarships that are automatic within the admissions office that you just need to meet a GPA requirement and you can get additional amounts. We also do have a legacy award for our out-of-state students. So if you do have any family members from UNI who have graduated or are currently attending, you do get an additional $2,000. And then we also have the United Scholarship, which is for multicultural students or TRIO students. And that you just need to meet the GPA requirement and you get those automatically. We're in the works of creating a scholarship for AVID students because we know that is huge within Minnesota schools as well as Iowa schools. So just keep an eye out for that. But we also do have a scholarship application, which is just one application that you get to fill out. You can submit essays and it sends it out to all the different scholarships we have on campus. And that deadline is January 15th.
So we're similar to St. Kate's, just apply for admission and you'll be considered for all of our scholarships. We have an in-person scholarship day that we are reformulating with the reality of this year. So more to come on that. I keep saying updates coming soon, but updates coming soon. And then I just want to plug your guidance counselor's efforts in educating you about the FAFSA. So we might, as MnACC, be at your high school to do a FAFSA workshop and to help you with that. All of our schools are going to have folks to help you with the FAFSA. So it can be daunting. It's not the easiest thing or most intuitive thing to get done. I think we need to acknowledge that, but there's so many resources, both on the website for FAFSA.gov and also at your guidance or at your school's guidance office or college center, and then also with every college that you're applying to. So there's so much help out there. Start it earlier. I think we're all, as admissions counselors, potentially, or I'm in the position of having students who are working on their FAFSA right now and trying to start in a couple weeks, which is not ideal because they're still waiting on that package. So start it earlier. It opens in October, slight different from past years.
And just to touch base on our plans for the fall, MnACC will be doing virtual college fairs, 3 of them in the fall and 3 of them in the spring. So end of October, early November is when the fall ones will be. And likely you'll see a lot of these admissions counselors there as well. All right, so a student decides to go to your university or college. Does that student have the option to or requirement of living on campus? And what is that residential life and dining facility? What does that look like?
Yes, so at Northern, you'll be required to live on campus for the first 2 years, but after that, you're free to kind of go wherever. As I said before, we just put up 3 brand new residence halls, and they're in like the suite style, pod style, so they're really nice rooms. And there's also community spaces where like people of all the elementary majors will live together, and all the bio majors will live together. So that'll also help with your studies. And then also in those residence halls, there is little like study areas, study rooms that you can go into as well. So, yeah.
St. Kate's does not have a residency requirement. A lot of our students do come from the Twin Cities, but about 80% of our first-year students live on campus. Most, but not all, first-year students live in traditional residence halls. So most people have a roommate, shared bathroom down the hall. After first year, students still have the opportunity to live in a traditional residence hall, but you can also upgrade and live in an apartment or a suite. When it comes to dining on campus, lots of options. We have our main cafeteria as well as 2 coffee shops and a little convenience store where you get to use all of your meal points. So yeah, lots of options.
Yep, Alexandria does not have a requirement to live on campus. It's very popular for some of our students to rent cabins on the lake or rent lake homes from families in the area. However, we do have an on-campus apartment building. There's 34 apartments, and that's very popular for students who maybe are traveling or coming from 3-4 hours away and they don't want to have to worry about finding their own housing. And it is like the suite apartment setup. So it has a full kitchen, full-size refrigerator, stove, dishwasher, microwave, and then it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit. So each student just shares a bathroom with one other person.
For the University of Northern Iowa, it isn't required or mandatory to live on campus as an incoming student. Obviously, it's highly encouraged, and the majority of our students do live on campus. We do have a wide variety of different residential halls on campus as well. For our incoming students, they usually stay in our traditional style housing. So that's kind of sharing a bedroom with someone, having a communal restroom. However, we do have suite style residential halls as well as apartment style residential halls on campus, which is really nice. We also do have some residential halls that have all gender inclusive restrooms. So basically pod style bathrooms where it's kind of shared community bathrooms, but every pod has its own sink, toilet, and shower, which is really nice. So it's really private. And then we also do offer single bedroom housing. So if you really want to live on your own, you do better off that way. You do have that option as well. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of our residential setup. For dining, we are known in Iowa to have the best college food, which is something that I can vouch for. We do only have 2 dining centers. However, we have over about 10 different market style or for food court style areas to eat. So you do have an option to just grab a quick bite or coffee or tea on campus.
And then Eau Claire doesn't require students to live on campus their first year. However, a good majority of them do choose to do so. We have about 13 different living learning communities, which are really just wings made up of students who share a common interest in a certain topic, which they're able to choose to live in. That includes our home living community, our rainbow floor, our pre-professional floor, our social justice floor. So just a variety of different topics that students could be interested in to live on the floor. The great thing about that is that you really get to know the folks you're living next to as you're sharing a common space on the dorms there. And our dorms are on our upper campus. I know I didn't say this earlier, but our University of Wisconsin Club, we are split in 2. So we have a hill that divides us. So all our residence halls are on upper campus and our academic buildings are on lower campus, meaning that we have 2 different dining service areas. So on upper campus, we have an all-you-can-eat buffet style cafeteria up there. And then on lower campus, our dining choices are more of that marketplace food court style option there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go through quickly. We do not require technically first year or any students live on campus. About 95% do. 99% either live on campus or within a mile of campus of all of our students, so very few students commuting very far. We have upperclassmen housing available, suite style options available, gender inclusive housing, and then theme floors as well. So quite a few options at one suite style dorm as well. Just kind of echo what everyone else.
All right, we have time for just a couple more questions. Can you describe the diversity of your student body and how students engage with multicultural communities on your campus?
I can go first. Oh,
Go ahead.
As a previous student myself, I think that community is a big thing for a lot of us students of color coming onto a campus. And definitely when you're going and looking at campuses, finding that right fit sometimes for students of color is finding that community. One way we get our students involved in our community is our Office of Multicultural Affairs. They have a welcome back picnic at the beginning of every school year, and all 5 of our student organizations, students of color organizations, come out to meet new students and also returning students. And those are our Intertribal Student Council group, our African American Student Association, our Black Student Association, our Hmong Association, and our Latinx Student Association group on our campus here. So definitely great ways for our students to really get involved. For students who are looking for that students of color perspective of where can I find my ethnic identity there. But we also have our Pride group on our campus as well for any students who want to be a part of Pride, and our Gender Sexual Resource Center as well. So there's just a few different ways for students to get involved, and there are always a lot of different events right on campus that they host just to get students in, and this happens throughout the school year so that there's not only one entering access point for you, but it's throughout your whole entire 4 years here. You get an access point into these groups.
I'll go ahead and share as well. So the University of Northern Iowa is located in Cedar Falls, Iowa, which is a pretty small town. So the university is a PWI, predominantly white institution. I like to be very transparent about that. However, we do have a wide variety of students from different backgrounds on our campus and organizations as well. We do have our Center of Multicultural Education where our students usually get together to host events and also just to hang out. So we do have our Black Student Alliance as well as our Latinx Alliance of Students as well, also known as Unidos. We also do have ESP, which is our ethnic students promoters who help with admissions. So when families do come on campus or students come on campus, they can give their perspective because they are here on campus. Since they are a smaller group, when I met the students, they did have a close-knit family feel. So although you might feel like you can't find them all the time, you do know where they're always at and can always lean on them and communicate with them. And you do have your family away from home. So, yeah.
So at St. Kate's, diversity looks